Guys, gals, and all other pals. Welcome to my channel. I'm Joe Mopomo. Ain't no meta for Greta. She's playing the game of life on hard mode. For today, I'm going to talk about team archetypes I do not recommend for the first two teams of a new account if you mainly care about clearing the Spiral Abyss. Of course, if you personally love any of the following characters and just don't care about Spiral Abyss, or already have multiple teams ready, then go ahead and sit back, relax, and do the exact opposite. Because building more teams is more fun. Well, to me anyways. Anyhow, if you do care, I don't recommend going for the following team archetypes for your first two teams on a new account. Number 5. Single target locked. This would include teams centering around characters like Yoimiya and Tignari. If there are AoE chambers on both sides of floor 12 of the Abyss, well, then that's going to be much more difficult. Note that there are a handful of other teams that can take out bosses equally fast and even faster without being strictly locked to single target attacks. There are a ton of tough example scenarios like 2 Consecrated Beasts, dealing with 2 Kairagi you need to kill at nearly the same time, multiple Fatui operatives, etc. If you only go single, you'll end up like Tingle. Old, weird, and alone. Number 4. Mono Geo. You might be asking, why not? Aren't there high DPS Mono Geo teams? And the answer to that is yes. But Mono Geo teams tend to get soft countered by most elemental shields, and they unfortunately appear pretty often in the Abyss. Yes, Geo can chip away at all the other elements' shields, but it still always feels a bit slower, as our current Geo roster doesn't even apply that much Geo consistently. On the other hand, Mono Animo chips away at shields the same way, but Animo has a roster with faster Animo application, and the ability to swirl other elements onto enemy shields. Think Abyss Mages, Heralds, Lectors, and other elementally shielded enemies that oftentimes make Mono Geo feel iffy. Not only shields, but a handful of enemies simply require specific elements or elemental reactions, which can be hard to cover if Mono Geo is one of your first two teams. If you only go Geo, it's like maining the Trio. Trio. Which is not the best, and also a guaranteed trio in both cases. Number 3. Small Circle Impact. What do I mean by Small Circle Impact? I mean teams like a Bennett team that really wants to stay in Bennett's burst small circle for the entire burst duration with a melee character. Yes, these teams sheet quite well in terms of their DPS, but I mean, what is this? A circle for ants? So take note, this does not apply to Wanderer, he's ranged, or Child International. Most of the damage is snapshotted within the burst. Anyhow, Circle Impact teams feel bad against high mobility enemies, which Hoyle has only been cranking out more and more of lately. Rune Serpent, Weenut, Mirror Maiden, etc. This can also feel less than ideal when there are multiple waves of enemies in the chamber that end up spawning on opposite sides, as you end up wasting a lot of damage doing nothing if you wipe out a wave mid-rotation. So if you like small circles, you might be Steve Urkel. Number 2. Freeze. Once upon a time, you absolutely wanted a Freeze team as one of your 2 first teams. Ganyu and Ayaka dominated the depths of the Abyss through the power of Morgana. However, now there are so many more bosses and unfreezable enemies in the Abyss that appear with a pretty high frequency. What's even more annoying is that triggering a freeze reaction on unfreezable enemies can simply wipe out the elemental aura that you've placed on the enemies. See these when enemy is affected by cryo bonuses? Gone. When Hydro hits your enemy affected with cryo, bye-bye to both elements for no payoff whatsoever. So, if you can't freeze, no Primogem guarantees from Spiral Abyss. Number 1. Physical. Once upon a time, the land of Teyvat was overpopulated with crescent pipe Zhonglis, machine gun officials, Unga Bunga razors, and Eulas. Those mutants, these aberrants, have nearly gone extinct now, as the most common type of enemies, ruin machines, keep evolving into newer, faster, stronger, and ever more annoying forms with high resistance to physical damage. Not only that, physical type damage does not fare well against elemental shields either. If you love physical, then you ain't typical. Unless you're talking about real life. All of these teams basically have a much higher probability than others of being either soft or hard countered in Spiral Abyss. Was I on point? Did I miss something? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I will respond. I have no viewers. If you found any of that informative or helpful, please like and subscribe if you happen to find yourself in a most gracious mood. That's virtually everything you need to know about what not to build for your first 2 teams if you really care about Spiral Abyss. Thanks for watching.